listening to District Music.
Hello and welcome to the District Music Podcast. I think it's episode 11. I don't really know. Is it? And this week we're chatting all things electric picnic.
Stradbally.
Really excited for this one because, Jesus, what a lineup. It is, of course, the 27th of August. EP's happening this weekend down in Stradbally Leash. And myself, Rachel Mahannon and Dray Morgan are here just basically to chat about how the festival came about in the first place, previous lineups, and we'll be just going through the lineup itself and seeing who we think we're most excited to see, and just a bit about the artists as well. But Dre, it feels like we're only around the corner from All Together now. It's festival after a festival.
It's cray.
We're very lucky. We're very privileged that we get to go as music journalists. But I don't think we properly debriefed about All Together now on the podcast.
No, because
a few
you
weeks
zipped away and I was left
I
all by
know.
myself, no one to speak music
I'm
with.
sorry.
Rachel went to Donegal.
But yeah, like, how did you find the whole camping
Lovely
part
time.
of ATN, of All Together now?
To be honest, I had a lovely time. Like, it was just a great time. It always is. If we're talking about highlights, people that I really, really enjoyed, Floating Points. Oh my God, that guy is just the biggest nerd, and it works every time. Just beautiful electronic music, a wall of synths. I recommended this, I'm pretty sure, on the podcast. We said it all together now from the ATM pod. Floating Points was an absolute wonder. Who else was really, really good? Barrington Levy was really, really good, really fun. He was late, like every Jamaican man always is, but yeah, he really, like, the dude is like 70 and absolutely like tore the place off the roof. It was his final tour as well, final show on the tour, and his pipes are insane. I'm like, how do you keep your voice intact? He's literally shattering, like vocal cord shattering level. But yeah, I had a lovely time. Arcadia, I was camped around Arcadia, not physically, I mean spiritually was camped around Arcadia. Joy Orbison was maybe my highlight there. Emma, shout out to Emma, Irish DJ, absolutely killed it. Emma and Sloucho, I think, were two like electronic acts which like blew me away with their DJ sets in that AVA stage. Yeah, I had a really lovely time. Weather held and it was nice. How about you, Rachel? How was the campsite camper van experience?
Guys,
How does it elevate it to a normal tent experience? Tell me about, like, is it chalk and cheese? Is it night and day?
Guys, I'm so lucky that I got to sleep in a camper van at ATN. I feel like I can never go back to a tent.
Really? Is it like that?
It's just like you're inside.
That's the thing.
It's
yeah.
like you're indoors, so it's crazy. But
Were you like making coffees in the morning and stuff?
yeah, sorry
You
to
know,
rub
some
it in.
people were like, I was speaking to Salma, who co-worker, and she was like, yeah, I was waiting like an hour and a half in the queue for a coffee. And like
No.
at that point, like,
Just give up.
just give up. Like, hour and a half for a coffee, like, I'm sorry, go for a run. That'll wake you up. You know?
Honestly, but like coffee does change your whole mood though, at
Yeah.
the same time. Really nice experience in the camper van. I climbed through a bush at the start to
Oh
get
yeah, when we
press
saw you were
accreditation.
like looked
It's-
like a American sniper or something trying to come through those
I had
bushes.
scrapes all over me because the guy wouldn't believe me that I was working for District
I
Magazine.
mean, you do look like someone that would try to jump the fence. To be fair, I mean,
He basically just was like ringing his boss. The security man was ringing his boss, being like, "Nah, like there's no District Magazine." And I was like, "There
Doesn't
is. Like,
exist.
literally, if you let me through this gate, I can show you
What
the
if you just do
accreditation."
psychosis? None of this is real. Rachel.
Yeah, it was like actually crazy. But yeah, weather-wise, as I said, held up. It was the first, like, the most actually dusty Irish festival.
It
I've been
was
to.
dusty.
But favorite stage always is the Last City, and
Yeah.
I saw really cool acts in there. Like, the highlights for me were probably the Deadlians on the Friday, like that trad kind of really like electronic-y trad experimental, very fun. And then in the same venue the next day, I saw the Cypher with Ahmed with Love, Lil Skag, Sugaboo, Courtesy. It was probably the highlight for me.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, it
I'm
was
so annoyed. I didn't get to see much of that. I got to see a little bit because I was interviewing Takuya, but
Yes.
so annoying. Tell me about the cypher.
It was just amazing. Like, the energy was unbelievable. The crowd were backing them so much.
Yeah.
The crowd were basically on stage with them.
Yeah.
And Ahmed with Love, Lil Skag, like the standouts for me were Lil Skag and Courtesy. I have to say,
Really,
they
yeah.
really had the crowd wrapped around their finger, and they'd stand up in a little ledge, and it was so good. Also, another highlight for me before we get into EP this weekend was Roche.
Yeah.
Oh my
On
gosh,
the District Music stage.
District Music stage, shout out. She was on the Sunday at around 7:30, and I really have to say I had goosebumps. She just opened the floor with, you know, her black veil on, her band having a black veil on as well, doing these like wailing sounds that were so controlled with her vocals, and it kind of nearly sounded like an Arabian scale. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But amazing stuff. But not only was it really ethereal and stuff of her like doing her different effects on her vocals, but she was having an absolute laugh. Like, you know, her song
That's fun.
Did You Ever Get the Ride at the
Yeah,
Wake
yeah.
House? It was some crack. And then
Yeah.
she was like doing such a like call and response, like old Irish like a cappella tunes and stuff. It was really fun.
Nice.
So kind of had a bit of everything, and then a massive finish. And also it was more electric guitar-y, punky than I expected, which I didn't actually envision for the full band setup for Roche. But amazing stuff. So if you want to check her out, I'm sure I've mentioned her a million times in this podcast before. She spells her name Or-O-Father-I-S. She's from Fermanagh and incorporates this whole idea of keening, an old pagan Irish tradition where women were paid to cry at funerals, basically. But yeah, I had a great time. But Jesus, I'm getting old. It takes it out of you. We're gonna do it all again this weekend.
Yeah.
Before we get into the EP,
Well, can I talk about Takuya for a second?
please.
Yeah, we
do.
interviewed Takuya. Obviously, if anyone listened to our All Together Now prior podcast, he was my hot recommendation for the weekend. A lovely 70-year-old Japanese man who plays jungle drum and bass music and plays the trumpet live and also sings, which is like, it was gorgeous, wasn't it? On the District Music stage, which was like even more of a privilege. And then we got the little interview with him afterwards, and he is absolutely lovely guy. He was like, just like, it was like, looked like who'd let their granddad like backstage. He was just like wandering around. We were like, Takuya, hey. I was like, like no one escorted him. Did he just like walk off? I feel like he just walked off from his artist area and just like found us. And then he was a very funny guy. He was like, I've been to Donegal like 30 times. He loves Donegal, that man.
Wow.
Yeah, he absolutely loves Donegal. So he's based in Brooklyn. He's from Tokyo. And he basically said that everything, like this whole thing is an accident. Like he was a classical trumpet player, learned how to DJ, and kind of just accidentally started like touring the world, basically. But yeah, he said that you have to have 2 shots of tequila before every show, and that's the perfect amount of alcohol to have before every show, and it loosens you up. So that's why I had 2 shots of tequila before this podcast. So I'm ready.
I knew it.
Okay, 4.
Okay, I've had 17 shots.
Yeah, 17 shots of tequila. But yeah, he was a super cool dude, and hopefully by now the interview should be out on District Music, so you guys can catch that. But a lot of insight, a lot of wisdom, and just kind of a funny dude. So I would definitely be interested in chatting to him again. Because
Yeah,
he's just
and
a good
seeing him
soul.
again.
Yeah, and definitely seeing him again. His set was fantastic. I didn't realize how much he sings in his set as well. He gives like little vocal performances as well during his set, which is very, very nice. And it goes, switches from dancey to ambient. So yeah, it's a good time. Takuya, you didn't disappoint. Led by How You Did because you cancelled, but
I know.
that's okay. That's okay.
I know.
There'll be another time. I forgive you, Rachel.
Other Rachel.
I don't
guys.
forgive you,
Led by
Rachel.
her is also Rachel, and she cancelled at the District Music stage. We were
Yeah,
really
we were really
hoping.
hoping.
But we'll
But
see her
medical
again.
issues, so she's okay. I
Yeah.
hope she's okay.
I know, that's
Thoughts
the
and
main
prayers.
thing. Before we get into the EP chat, will we chat about this week in music history?
What's going on? We need a jingle.
What's going on? Oh, that could be a good one.
What's going on?
What's going on? This week in
music
music
history.
Oh my god, we made it. We have to do
It's
that.
that.
Will I go first?
Go on, Rachel. Do it.
On the 27th of August, 1966, the Beach Boys released God Only Knows What I'd Be Without You. And it peaked at number 2 on the UK singles charts. And the song, obviously, it broke ground in so many different ways because, like, I think it was the first time people were hearing this falsetto, really thick, rich, textured harmonies, surf pop, like
What's
rock.
going on?
What's going on? But yeah, and it was also groundbreaking because it was like one of the first commercial songs to use the word God in its title. And What also was really interesting about this song and why I think the Beach Boys are one of the best bands to ever go down in history. Big statement, I know.
I think that's
But
completely valid.
yeah, like Brian Wilson is just such a talent, and he used to put in really cool instruments.
Fascinating human being as well.
Fascinating.
Like the dude was basically a recluse for like 30 years. It's bizarre. His story is bizarre.
Yeah, I feel like we could do a whole podcast just on the
Honestly,
Beach
yeah,
Boys.
yeah.
But yeah, like even he includes like the French horns in the intro of this song. But like you can tell he's a mastermind. If you just if we like broke down that track, God only knows, we'd be here all day. There's so many layers to
I think
it.
that is the thing. That's when like it went from music like Pet Sounds and that kind of album Beach Boys. It's like it went from like you're recording, like you're in the studio and you're just recording your album. You're recording the songs that you play, and it's
Yeah.
kind of going to be very similar. But this was like actual like production. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is where like production was almost born. Like the
Totally.
layering, the wall of sound, all of these things that were being brought into kind of in the studio through Brian Wilson, and this layering of musical instruments and this kind of the multiple elements and the kind of high levels of production. I think this was the first time, like you said, that audiences were really hit with a kind of new way of creating music,
Yeah. And like it was around the time of the Beatles, like when the Beatles were in their prime.
Yeah.
This was in 1966. But what I think is so cool is that there's just so different to everything else that was happening at the time. And I think that's why they have stood the test of time, and why the Beach Boys are like have had such longevity throughout time, because those songs and the production value and the depth and the texture of it all, like that, when I first heard that as a child, I was like, what is this? There's just so much for the ear to pick up. And yeah, I just think we should actually just do a full podcast on them, because I have so much to say.
Boys.
So that was the 27th of August 1966. But what else happened this week in music history?
Well, on the 27th of August 2013, something far more important happened. I'll tell you that now. So I'm using one thing as a way to tie it all together. So Miley Cyrus's MTV performance at the VMA was one of the most controversial live TV show performances ever. So I just wanted to use that as an excuse to talk about the whole Miley Cyrus phenomenon in general, and kind of that era was crazy. And I'm sorry, some of the songs that she released were bangers. Like 23 is a banger.
No
In
need
the
to be
clip,
sorry.
I have perp with some shades on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically this Miley Cyrus show in 2013, for those who remember, Miley Cyrus kind of was one of the first, well, not the first example, was one of the first modern examples maybe of a child star doing the kind of JoJo Siwa I'm all grown up kind of thing. And we've seen it happen a million times from now. But it was very much like a break the internet era. I think like the Wrecking Ball music video. So the Wrecking Ball was released also this week. So 2 days before that, Wrecking Ball, the single was released, but the music video wasn't released until a few months after. But yeah, so this MTV VMA performance was basically one of the most complained about performances ever. It was featuring Miley Cyrus, Robin Thicke, two controversial figures. A lot of just like sexually provocative things, as you can imagine. There were like, the white fit with the panty shorts, with the booty shorts, which is like the twerking, all of this stuff, the tongue, all of these things that are kind of accepted in today's like society and today's music culture, but back then
Sure, WAP, the music video.
literally WAP like is like the whole
Enough
thing,
said.
yeah. So I think like Miley Cyrus is definitely a bit of a martyr for like sexual liberation, or like overt sexual liberation within music. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to you. But in Miley Cyrus's case, because obviously I think she's gone back and said like obviously it was a difficult time for her. I mean, it's a difficult time for any child star making the transition to kind of an adult identity.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was 20 years old. Like, you forget how young she was. Like,
Oh my god, I didn't think she was that young.
yeah, I know. Like, she was 20 years old. It's like when Wrecking Ball came out, she was 20 years old. It's crazy. Like, that girl did not know what she was getting herself into. And I think, like, Wrecking Ball, I feel like, was one of the most parodied things on the internet as well. Like, I vividly remember, like, YouTube Rewind. I don't know if you remember YouTube Rewind back in the day. Like, that was in there. That was, like, a huge part of it, was, like, the Wrecking Ball music video that they parodied. Like, Bart Baker, another, like, someone who was actually very nasty with his parodies. And I think definitely contributed to, like, TMZ culture, like when we were really evil to celebrities in like 2013, 2012. I think like Bart Baker was one of those, but one of his most successful music video parodies was like Wrecking Ball. And I think like Wrecking Ball was maybe and there's definitely a time, and it definitely shows something that was happening on the internet. Maybe it was showing when the internet discourse was taking over mainstream discourse a little bit more, and I think maybe Wrecking Ball was a marker of that era, and when things started to shift to the internet being a bit more powerful than the mainstream, or the mainstream kind of reacting to what the internet does rather than the other way around, you know what I mean? But yeah, Wrecking Ball, an iconic time, and Miley Cyrus has had a fantastic career and is an iconic woman and is a fantastic artist. Like, actually is a fantastic
Incredible.
artist. I'm just so passionate about Miley.
So passionate that you dropped your
knocked
laptop.
my laptop over, campaigning for Miley.
That
I like that
laptop
Britney
kit-
Spears video. Have you ever seen that Britney Spears video? It's like, leave her alone. Leave Britney alone. That's literally me.
The laptop came in like a wrecking ball there, literally.
Oh, you had that one loaded up. You had that one loaded up. But yeah, Miley Cyrus, awesome. Wrecking Ball, I think like I was like 10, 11 when this came out, and I think it was like unsupervised internet access I associate with Wrecking Ball music video. You know what I mean? Just like first like joining the internet,
Oh my
I
God,
think.
you remind me of how young you are and how
Yeah.
old I am. But yeah, no,
But
so
yeah.
fair. And you're so right. I think it is like when the internet became more powerful than the mainstream media. Because if you think about it, up until then in the noughties, and you mentioned Britney Spears there,
Yeah.
all about paparazzi selling photos to the magazines, and they had the power.
And I think like it was actually when the internet had a bit more of a monoculture. Like now someone can have 50 million monthly listens and you've never heard of them in your life because of
Yeah.
algorithms. But back then it was more YouTube front page. Everyone had the same thing
Same
that
thing.
they saw on the front of YouTube, you know what I mean? And I
Totally.
think obviously that maybe until about 2017 that was the case, where now algorithms have us so divided. We're kind of like, the internet culture isn't a thing. The internet is just a vehicle for culture. But back then internet culture was very much a thing.
Yeah.
Which is why something like YouTube Rewind could happen, and everyone knows that that's the Wrecking Ball music video because everyone has seen that, because everyone was recommended the same things, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it is a bygone era, and I do mourn that era of having that, you know.
Yeah, because even those parodies of Wrecking Ball, like those comedians probably wouldn't get away with it now because
Yeah.
a pop star doing a music video, not everyone's gonna get it.
Or it just wouldn't be that relevant, I
No.
think. It just wouldn't be that big of a deal, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah, so yeah. We went on a
Wow.
bit of a Wrecking Ball
No,
tangent
we
there.
did.
But
We dropped the
yeah.
laptop and we relived to tell the tale. We're
Sorry
here.
guys. Just
Um,
Miley.
Just love Miley. No, I do love Miley as well, and she's been through so much, and
Mm.
I'm sure like she's had to go through so many different phases, like we all have, but her more so, growing up in the limelight.
So 20th of August 2009, something very big happened. Oasis split up. Officially. Oasis. Oasis.
Did they?
Yeah. So we're talking about Fontaines. People love to do a little tie between Fontaines and Oasis. Oasis this was when the official kind of statement came out, basically when Noel Gallagher was just like, it's with some sadness and great relief to tell you that I quit Oasis. And the band were due to play the Rock on the Seine festival in Paris, and they cancelled it at the last minute. Oasis were also they were still very ropey at this time. There's a great clip of Block Party at Glastonbury 2000. This was in 2009, yeah. Block Party at Glastonbury 2009, basically, they were supposed to be the band before Oasis comes on, and Oasis cancels Glastonbury. They obviously got into some fight backstage, and it's a really funny clip of Block Party kind of being like, well, fuck them, let's play. Basically, we're headliners now. I guess we're headliners. And there's a really interesting video I saw the other day, actually, of like Liam kind of tambourine on his head, sitting there staring at Noel on stage, and Noel just basically, like, Liam basically refused to play, and Noel just ripping a solo, singing, doing everything, and kind of basically subconsciously telling his brother, like, I can do this without you, kind of thing. And you can see there's a great shot of Noel like ripping a solo, and you can see Liam's eyes just fixated on the back of his head while he sits there doing nothing.
Oh no.
Perfect for a little doc. But yeah, so 2009, Oasis were no Oasis. and now they're back.
The puns and the jokes
Yeah,
are rolling off
we're
the tongues.
we're killing it today, guys.
Is it the Red Bull? Maybe.
Who knows? Gives you puns.
Gonna be
so,
drinking
yeah.
a lot of that this weekend
Why?
at EP.
Oh yeah. Why? You okay?
Guys, I just need to be able to survive, okay? I just need to be able to be
That's
with
true.
the young ones.
That's true.
Very
okay, yeah.
interesting interesting lore there from 2009. they broke up. I can't believe it was that long ago. I feel like because we talked about Oasis so much, it's
I
hard to
know.
believe that time how big of a deal it was.
I know.
Um,
The Middle Ages of no Oasis from 2009 to what, 2024, 2025?
wow.
Crazy.
Totally different time. Another thing that happened this week in music history on the 23rd of August 2024,
Whoa.
2 years ago,
Recent.
Romance, the fourth studio album by the Irish rock band Fontaine's DC, was released. I don't know why I did that accent there, but of course.
That's what they talk, no?
Yeah, I heard that they talk like this.
That's what London does to us.
Yeah. Conor Curdy's from Monaghan. I really hope he doesn't talk like that now. But it basically, it features those singles we all know. Starburster, Favorite, Here's the Thing, In the Modern World, Bug. And it was released by XL Recordings after the band left Partisan Records and produced by James Ford. And I think this really catapulted them into stardom. It sold more than double the records that the predecessor Skinty Fia did in the first week.
And Skinty Fia was a fantastic album,
Exactly.
I just want to say as well.
Now, I have to say, I'm going to be completely honest here. I wasn't mad into the Fontaine's DC until the Romance album. I think they made the music more accessible to everybody, but also this whole, like, I think they carved out their space for this hyper Irish identity in Skinty Fia. That's always going to go with them because that's what they came out in the world as. But then when they go into this more futuristic neon pink hair, green sunglasses, sci-fi-esque
It went from
shift.
I would associate back in the day, like, lads who love Fontaines, they kind of dress like Devil Era, you know what I mean? Like, they're not like Devil Era, they just dress like that. Like, I imagine, like, Docs, kind of, you know, like, and then now I imagine, like, a Fontaines fan, very vibrant kind
neon.
of, like, neon, like, your, like, retro futurist look,
and I feel like they broke from that gritty post-punk origin, and I think this sci-fi aesthetic, as well as the sonic, like, soundscape of the whole album, was more accessible globally. But I think it was really cool. I think what they did, and we will talk about it later on this podcast because they are of course headlining Electric Picnic this weekend. But I think that just made it more accessible for a global audience.
Definitely.
But I think it's just so cool that they brought that Irishness with them too.
And I think to a global audience, they were like, the bands are back. You're listening to bands now. Like, we're here. Like, your rappers, don't worry about them. The bands are back. I think that was definitely a marker, you know?
Yeah, and like even in Romance, like, they had so many, like, literary nods, even to like James Joyce. They nodded to Ulysses with hoarseness is the whatness, and then just really interesting new, like, developments in their sound. Like, even in Starburster, do you know the panic attacks where it's like, and then like, that stuff is it's so theatrical, and it's like, you know, it's the idea is all about this chokehold that modern society has over you and stuff. So they're still talking about themes that they really did talk about in Skinty Fia and their previous stuff, but I think they just built themselves up so nicely, and I think it was really well done. So that of course came out on the 23rd of August 2024. I was counting down the days for that to come out, and it did not disappoint me.
I remember I saw them at Ziggit Festival like a week or two before, and you could feel that something was just about to explode, like
Really?
pop. Yeah, like you could really feel it. They played on this tent, the second stage basically to the main stage at Ziggit. Ziggit, for those who don't know, is a festival in Budapest. It's the second biggest festival in Europe, like a very big festival, and like you could just feel, because I think Starburster had already came out as a single at that point. It was literally like the week in between kind of thing of the album dropping, and it was very much like when I saw Travis Scott just before Astroworld dropped. Like, you can feel some, like, the pressure is about to go, and it's about to explode, and it definitely did.
It did. Well, I'm really excited to talk more about them. We'll take a quick break now, but after this we'll be chatting all things Electric Picnic, just giving a brief history.
We'll be green, Chan.
We'll be we're firing out the
We're on fire
the jokes
today, bro.
We're not going to be chatting, we're going to be green chatting.
We'll be green, Chan.
We'll be chatting about the history of EP, some previous headliners, and then also we were buzzing for, and I think we're buzzing for Fontaines. I don't know if you've sensed it. Okay, right back after this.
Bye.
And welcome back to the District Music Podcast. We are chatting all things Electric Picnic because guess what? It's on this weekend, if you didn't know. And we are going to be giving you a little brief history on the festival. We're also going to be looking back at some of the biggest headliners over the years. And as well as this, we're just going to go through the lineup and chat to you who we think we're the most excited to see this weekend. But first of all, do you know anything about the history of EP?
I vaguely remember. I've seen archive footage of like the founders of EP chatting, built out from is it the Cree stage? That's like the original core of EP. Maybe I'm wrong. And yeah, kind of you still see it there. It's kind of like an amphitheatered kind of
Yes.
a natural garden, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know like too much. I just know that it's like born out of hippie roots, and if you dig, you can still find those hippie roots at Electric
You
Picnic.
can.
Very much so.
I remember actually I was around 9 at the time when it started, and I remember my older cousin Pearl, who was so cool. She studied art in college, and I remember we were in Penny's in Galway, and she was looking for wellies for this new festival called Electric Picnic. And I was just thinking, I don't know what the hell that is, because I've only heard of Oxygen. And yeah, it's just so funny looking back then. It seemed like such an indie small festival, like small festivals we'd see today in Ireland, who could become the next big thing. But yeah, it did start in 2004. And it started off as a one-day music festival. There was no camping at it, but there was only 10,000 attendees the first time. And now it's an 80,000 mega festival. And it was co-founded by the late John Reynolds, who we were talking about it all together now, because he also founded that one
And
as well.
Pulp, I don't know if I'm not Pulp, sorry, Underworld. I don't know if you saw Underworld gave John Reynolds a shout out right before Born Slippy, and then played Born Slippy.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so lovely.
it was
I
very
didn't
nice.
see that.
Yeah.
So John Reynolds and Robbie Butler set it up on September 4th, 2004. And yeah, basically it was in this whole Celtic tiger era. It grew legs. It prioritized this whole idea of curiosity over creativity instead of stadium rock. And they wanted to build this like eco-friendly escapism. And it had the art installations, the literature, the comedy, the holistic experiences. And from then on, it just became massive. It does, as you said, it still has those holistic roots. I remember, I think I said this on the podcast before. I remember I got married in a camper van by Elvis, a fake Elvis, to my friend.
Real Elvis.
Yeah, I mean, real Elvis. We hope it wasn't a real marriage. We still don't know. But if you go and explore EP, we've talked about this before.
There's so many curiosities. There's narrative. I like if whoever's going to EP this year. I only started noticing on the last day. There are narrative arcs to stages where the stages physically change over the days, and some people might not notice that. Like the scrapyard, I noticed like there's physical stories being told through these stages that you blink and you will miss it. Like there's so many curiosities there, which I think does differentiate itself from the likes of All Together Now and any other festival in Ireland, because the intricacies that Electric Picnic have are unmatched, and it's only something like Glastonbury or like Boomtown, which just happened, where there's like stories and narratives and things like that you can actually pursue and learn about whilst you're there, which is a very beautiful thing as well. And I think like a lot of the festival has to facilitate the larger thing to keep the crux of what it is as well. That hippie core, I think it's like you have to give to get some back as well. So I think there's like, obviously it's turned into the biggest festival in Ireland, but it still has like a core of people that have been building that festival since the very beginning, you know?
And one of the people that is amazing at building those really unique sets out past the Salty Dog area is a guy I know called Benny McGuinness. And the reason I discovered that whole area back in 2016 when I went for the first time was because my sister is friends with them. She brought me to this whole other world at Electric Picnic that I didn't know about. I remember he just opened like a tin roof, and we were going down these stairs underground to some basement, and it was like so cool. Benny, just shout out to Benny, because he also came third in the Bloom Festival as well. He's amazing at building these really creative sets and designs. But those people, Electric Picnic would be nothing without those people. And I think though, like I would really advise people to check out past the Salty Dog stage, go and explore Electric Picnic, because you don't know what you're going to find. Even the Salty Dog stage itself, the fact that it's a boat is so cool, you know? Yeah. And then the trailer park stage, they all have these
The
little
secret terminus stage. And all of these things. Yeah.
so interesting. Before we get into like the previous lineups, what's your first memories of Electric Picnic? When is the
I
first
only
time
went
you
last year. That's my first time ever.
it?
Yeah. So, like I say before, like COVID kind of disrupted like the kind of festival going kind of thing. So yeah, I only went last year. Last year was my first ever time, and I was pretty wild. I was walking a lot. My legs were tired.
Yeah.
But I had a lovely time. My friends were doing a talk there, so I kind of, and obviously we had like district responsibilities to do, so it was nice that like my friends were there and I was there. It was all our first time, and it was just a silly time, and I caught a lot more random music than I would at some place like Altogether Now. Like I ended up stumbling upon a lot of things, but I think you have to surrender yourself to that experience a little bit more. Like whatever you stumble upon, kind of dive into it. Yeah, it was a great time. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I think the
was
first,
tired.
tiring.
Yeah.
First time I went, I think it was either 15 or 16. And I remember Blur was playing, Florence and the Machine was there. I woke up in a puddle in my tent, and I was like, did I have an accident last night? But it was the rain, guys.
You did, but it was also raining.
It was just the rain.
It was just the rain, I
okay?
swear.
But I remember like having such an amazing time and being like, wow, this is really cool that I can just wander around into like
Yeah.
Trench Town and, you know, the Body and Soul area, which is now
I really
Mind
love
and
the
Body.
separation between like once you get in those trees. I love getting in those
Yeah.
trees and kind of exploring like
Yeah.
through Trench Town. That's like the borderlands, and then you go in and you just like can get lost in this like other world. There's two worlds to Electric Picnic. I really
Yeah.
do think there is. You know what I mean?
There are.
There's like parallel universes, which is really cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Will we look back at some of the previous lineups?
Please.
We have like a kind of a brief synopsis of the so obviously let's start at this year and work our way backwards. So this year, of course, we have the likes of Somber, Gorillaz, Fontaine, CC we mentioned before the break there. We have CMAT, we have Zara Larsson, and they also recently announced Van Morrison as well, who I think is going to get a massive crowd.
Yeah, people love the van.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the likes of himself and Christy Moore coming back to Irish festivals. It's so amazing to
Christy
see.
Moore packed out.
Packed out
That's
altogether now.
I'm sorry, but that's an old borderline main stage
Yes.
headliner. You know what I mean? Like with the crowd that he's drawing.
And that
it's
was
mad.
altogether now was Christy Moore's first festival in 14 years.
Really? I did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
know that.
So do you want to take it back to 2025 then, Dre? Who did we have last year at Electric Picnic?
We had, from my memory and from this document that has
right
it
in
written
front
on
of
it,
us.
we have Hosier, Chaperone, Sam Fender, Kings of Leon, Fatboy Slim, and Becky Hill. And I remember like Chaperone coming out, and I was like, that was a great headliner. And then later on, I was walking past the set, and it was like Hosier was just there.
Yeah.
Hosier was playing as well. I'm like, Jesus Christ, today is stacked. So I was like, what?
Like international megastars. It's
Yeah,
amazing
yeah.
to see.
Chaperone really did kill it. You were there for Chaperone, weren't you? I
Oh
remember.
my
Yeah.
gosh. Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't mad about Chaperone before I
Yeah,
saw her
same.
live. And when I saw her live, newfound appreciation.
Yeah, she
for
killed it.
Sure.
She
Like
killed it.
wow.
Sam Fender is now one of the biggest artists in the world, by the way. Like he's also a Coventry boy. He's from Coventry.
Is he?
Yeah. That song "Rain Me In" with Olivia Dean is now the longest running
Literally.
UK #1 in history.
Just about to say.
Mad.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see.
I think he's still yet to break America properly, but I think in the next year it's gonna be Fender Fever.
Fender Fever.
Fender Fever.
Kings of Leon, obviously you can't go wrong
go
with
wrong.
them. Fatboy Slim also, like his stuff is timeless. It
Timeless.
doesn't get old.
The dads in the bucket hats were loving themselves with
Yeah.
Fatboy Slim.
Right here, right now. Then also Becky Hill. I love Becky Hill's voice.
Feel good.
It's also
Still
like
good.
her raspiness and her range. She came to fame from The Voice UK, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Did have you seen these clips of Becky Hill saying that she's not performing any old music?
No.
Have you not seen this? So Becky Hill, I hope I've got this right now. Becky Hill had performed at a festival recently and was basically like, I'm only doing the new album, and got like obviously a lot of stick. But what do you think about that artist kind of really drawing a line in the sand of their old music, especially now as like Becky Hill, who's very singles driven artist, you know?
I don't agree with
Yeah.
it because
Especially at a festival as
a
well.
festival. Like I think we talked about this before. David Gray, myself, and my mum went to see David Gray in Three Arena last year, and he was really holding off all of his old stuff. Like that White Ladder album though got like the Irish audience got him where he needed to be
Yeah.
for his global success. His Irish audience, I think it went a White Ladder was at #1 for weeks, and you know he's coming back to Ireland in 3 Arena, and I remember him saying on stage like, "Okay, guys, don't worry, I'm gonna play my big hits," as if like he hated doing them.
Yeah. And it's
But
like,
I'm also like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, like, love your stuff and really appreciate you as a musician. But the reason you're on the 3 Arena stage right now is because of that album.
yeah, and your job is a performer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you're in the theater and you're acting in a play, you're going to put on your best acting performance, you know?
Yeah.
Or like if you're a footballer, you're going to try and play as well as you can and play to your strengths. So I
Yeah.
do feel like, especially at a festival or at an arena gig like that, then you do have to take into account what the audience wants as well. So I don't know if Becky Hill, well, I know she was last year. I don't know if she's like reverted back to that, playing some old tracks, or it's just going to be a new album. But I thought it was just an interesting little
So
tangent to go on.
interesting. 2024, we had the likes of Noah Kahan, Jerry Cinnamon, Calvin Harris, Kylie Minogue, Ray, and Codeline. That was obviously before Ray's big hit.
Yeah.
Baby.
But she does. I can't strip it to my face.
Yeah.
Does she do that?
She
Is that right?
does,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I remember I was at Zigget again and I was bungee jumping and she was playing. It was opposite the main stage, so you can see the main stage as you're bungee jumping. And she was singing that as I went. I was like, "Oh, I'm proud." I was like,
God. Yeah, you're like,
yeah. Yeah.
wow.
She's
yeah.
kind of a queen. I really
Oh.
like mess with Ray. I
So
really,
do
yeah.
I, so
I'm
do
really
I.
down with that. Calvin Harris is someone that I just really want to see. I'm like, if I see your light flashing.
Kylie Minogue also
Yeah.
massive comeback.
Yeah,
I feel like Calvin Harris has, really sustained his career throughout time by being a producer
Definitely.
and an artist in his own right. Like Kylie Minogue went away for years there, and people were just so happy she was back, so happy, including me.
I remember that year she brought out the Blessed Madonna and everyone thought she was bringing
Bringing
out
out
Madonna.
I know. I know. I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, another like really strong year, and then the year before this, 2023, we had
This one's crazy. I think.
yeah, we had Billie Eilish, Niall Horan, Fred again, The Killers, The Script, and Paolo Nutini.
I think a lot of,
Wow.
from what I've spoken to people, a lot of people's introduction to electronic music was that Fred again performance at Electric Picnic, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
I think like a lot of people that I know, my brother is one of them, people who wouldn't traditionally be into electronic music and into dance music, I think. And this is what Fred again has done so well to consolidate his fan base and grow it, is the live show, like the live show is the experience, and
Yeah.
all of these things. Yeah, so I think that was like a monumental thing. And they've also, like, looking back at this, have been really good at grabbing people just when they're on the brink of blowing up. Obviously, Billie Eilish was huge at that point. But, like, everyone
Huge.
else, like, I mean, obviously the Killers, but, like, Fred again, right on the brink of blowing up. Ray, another one, right on the brink of blowing up. Sam Fender, right on the brink of blowing up. This year, who knows?
Yeah.
CMAT, Fontaines, but they've just blown up.
Well,
But you know what I
yeah,
mean.
Pretty much have. Like
Yeah, very good ear to the ground bookings when it comes to headliners.
100%. Now this year, 2022, would it have done it for me? I don't know. Probably the biggest one I would have liked from this is Tame Impala.
Yeah.
That year we had Dermot Kennedy, Megan Thee Stallion, Tame Impala, Arctic Monkeys, and
I
Snow
think
Patrol.
it would have, but it depends if we're getting the Alex Turner. When everyone was just like on
Yeah.
that tour, when everyone was just getting annoyed at Alex Turner because he just like wouldn't sing the songs properly. You know what I
I
mean?
was at that one. I actually played that year.
Oh,
of
okay.
EP, and I remember I finished my set. It was on the Body and Soul stage, the Natural Amphitheatre that you're talking about. It was called Cree that year. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
now it's called Mind and Body. Don't know.
Okay, I
Or
thought it
maybe
was called
vice
Cree.
versa. Maybe it's
I saw
changed.
Champagne is playing on a Cree stage.
So then it
maybe-
must have used to been called Mind and Body, and now it's
Okay,
Cree. Yeah, I think that's it. But I remember going straight from that. Well, that was an amazing experience, by the way. It was really like a lovely gig to play. I was actually really nervous, I remember. 'Cause I was like, I'm playing Leisure Picnic
It's the big one.
But then went straight to Arctic Monkeys. It started lashing out of the heavens, I remember.
God.
But yeah,
Was that the apocalyptic year? There was one year recently that was like apocalyptic.
I think that might have
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
I think so. It was like, when I say lashing, it's like, do you know that rain that you can barely see the stage? It's like, so.
You got Alex Turner there like, whoa, I do want to go really high. It's like, can I just sing?
Yeah, he was changing it up.
Yeah.
But cool to see them because that's actually, I think, the only time I've ever seen them.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Arctic
Arctic Monkeys definitely has a place in my childhood that I used to listen to a lot, like songs like Brainstorm and stuff like that. I used to absolutely bump.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Tame Impala for me would have been the one for sure. It would have been cool to see Megan, but I actually have a weird story about seeing Megan Thee Stallion. So I saw Megan Thee Stallion at Longitude like 2016. I don't know. This is a weird story. And she just started like obviously Longitude. No, not 2016. Probably saw her like 2021 or something like that. I was a little bit older. The only reason I went is because my housemate's girlfriend wanted to see Ice Spice. So I was like, come on, let's go Ice Spice. And then we ended up staying. Anyway, she ends up picking like loads of girls out, and Longitude's not known for having like an old audience base, but she ends up picking loads of girls out of the crowd to like twerk on stage, and I was like, it was just a bit ropey. I don't know. It was just like a really uncomfortable performance, basically, of like, I don't know. It just wasn't great, but yeah, maybe we'll get that out. But like, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. She was a fun performer.
Yeah, she knows
But
she
yeah.
can twerk. She can
She
twerk.
could twerk. She could twerk.
So
And I think we were maybe peak twerk in 2022.
it's hard for people to keep up with her twerking, like, do you know.
That's true. That is
Sorry, I
true.
know we're currently on 2022 right now, but can I just go back to 2023 for a sec? I skimmed over this. Paolo Nutini. He was my first musical crush.
Yeah, you love some Paolo.
Oh my god.
People love Paolo.
I have a funny story about him, actually. When I was in Leaving Cert, I was in evening study. My sister had just gone to Berlin with her friends, and they were picking up their luggage in the Berlin airport, waiting on it to come out in the belt. Who was standing beside them? Not only Mr. Paolo Nutini himself.
So jealous.
And one of the girls that she's friends with was like, is that Paolo Nutini? And he kind of heard them, turned around, and was just like, hello, how are you getting on? That's my impression of Paolo Nutini. And he's like, are you coming to my gig today? Sorry, I'm kind of losing it there.
Yeah.
But he's like, are you coming to my gig? And they're like, no. And he's like, I'll put you on the guest list. And they're like, amazing. So my sister rings me when I'm in evening study. And bear in mind, I'm the fan. She only knows him because of me.
Yeah.
I run to the toilet. My phone's buzzing in my jumper. And I was like, hello, yeah, what? I'm in evening study. She's like, Rachel, guess who I just met? And I was like, no, don't say Paolo. Don't say Paolo. I mean, I had his posters all over my bedroom. And she's like, I just met Paolo Nutini. I'm going to his gig later. And I was like, fuck's sake. And I was so jealous and so annoyed. But then she was like, but Rachel, I'm going to see if I can try and get him to FaceTime you.
Oh, yeah.
So I had just had my first touch iPhone. They would only come out. Blackberries were in the bin at this point. iPhones were like becoming the thing. So she's like, I'm going to try and video call you. So yeah, then I remember I had a music test the next day, so I went home from evening study and I was still studying. I was a little nerd studying up in my attic in my house. My phone starts buzzing. It says Laura Hannon on it. My sister, shout out. And she didn't even give me a warning. Who was on the other line? Paolo Nutini.
Hello, Rachel. Rachel, I can't.
Hello, Rachel. I hear you like music. And I was
Yes.
like, hello, Paolo. Hi, Paolo. Oh my God. And then he's like, it's so nice to talk to you. We must play music together someday. And I was like, yeah, Paolo. And I was like, so weird calling him Paolo. Like, hey, Paolo.
Yeah.
But then, basically chatted for a while. And then I text my sister's phone straight away. And I was like, oh my God, that was the best experience of my life. Tell him I love him and I want to help him write music and blah, 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 blah. Like, very naive 18-year-old me. And then he texts back saying, oh, Nelly, and loads of X's. And I didn't. And I screenshotted it and put it up on Twitter. And I was like, guys, Paolo Nutini just texted me off my sister's phone. And basically they're all in the green room with him and they were like having a good time.
That's great fun.
Yeah, I didn't know what O'Nelly meant until I looked it up. But basically, I knew it was him because my sister didn't know what O'Nelly meant as well. It basically means like, oh my God, in like Scottish slang.
Nice.
So anyway, that's a little sidetrack story that I needed to tell you.
That's a great story. I like that one.
I love Paolo Nutini still.
Yeah.
I love him. Love's a strong word and I'm using it.
And you're using it.
We got up to 2022 there, but just to skim 2015 to 2021, the highlights were Florence and the Machine, Blur, LCD Sound System, the XX, Kendrick Lamar, The Strokes as well. They were the highlights from those years. I got to see Florence and the Machine and Blur, which was, I think, 2015, 2016. Didn't go for a few years after that, actually. And then going back to the noughties, do you want to read out the amazing act they had? The highlights.
Massive, some might say.
From
Massive attack.
2004 to 2014.
I mean, if you look at this, like, this is kind of now your music head would be listening to this now. I mean, but like it's
Yeah.
very interesting, the evolution of, maybe it's because you had Oxygen kind of taking the big arena acts, so Electric Picnic kind of fulfilled a niche that was a little bit more alternative. Because we've
Yeah.
got like Massive Attack, Kraftwerk, Bjork, The Cure, Arcade Fire, and Portishead, like acts that would have very much be at the top of their game, but at the top of an alternative world, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so that was the whole decade of 2004 from when it started
Yeah,
to 2014.
2014.
What an
Good
amazing
stuff.
highlight.
Good stuff, guys.
So good.
We get Bjork back.
Okay, so let's look at this weekend's lineup. We have the poster right in front of us here. This week is, of course, Electric Picnic, 28th to the 30th of August. But looking at this, Dray, what are your thoughts? What's your first impression?
First impression is the wealth of Irish headliners. Like I said,
Yes.
last year, like altogether, I was maybe kind of burst that bubble of like Irish artists can be headliners, and they killed it. So I'm really excited to see like the Fontaine set. Gorillaz, I'm really interested to see. I saw Gorillaz recently when they came to the 3 Arena, and it was actually fantastic.
Yeah.
And they brought out like Mos Def in Dublin. Like that was like, I felt like I was like in the 2000s. Like Gorillaz bringing out Mos Def was absolutely great. So hopefully they've got like a brilliant visual display as well. I think like it's just going to be a nice like multisensory, great headlining experience, I think. And then like going down a little bit, obviously we've got Skepta, Loyal Kana, Wonderhorse. I feel like they've really taken their time to like ear to the ground kind of situation, or seeing what is popular and kind of reflecting that and giving the music enjoyer what they want. Geese is another example of that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I like, yeah.
And
I mean, is that
Jade.
their first Irish date? Is Geese? Does Geese even played in Ireland before?
Good question. I
Off my
don't
top of my
actually
head,
know.
Geese, Jade, Interplanetary Criminal. I wonder if Ketem is gonna come by, because obviously they have that song together in Germany. I don't know. Probably not. The guy's in Miami. And then yeah, even like Raven Lene, and then like if we're looking down even more, like JPEG Mafia, OK Lou, Goria's Men I Trust, Florence Road. And then even lower, it's like Clifford's Majosoluk, like Violet Grohl. We're eating good.
It's very well
Yeah.
curated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it really, really is. Like, yeah, I'll skim through it, like some of my highlights here. Like Fontaine's DC, as you said, themselves and CMAT last year at All Together Now, it really showed you how strong an Irish headliner can really be, and people turn out for them as well. So I'm really excited that it's happening again this year. Zara Larsson, people say it's
That's
an
gonna be a
overnight
lot of fun.
success. She has been working hard.
I didn't realize how young she was. I don't even know how people could say it's an overnight success, because she had bangers back in the day.
Back in the day.
She's still like 27. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
She started when she was so young, and I think that's going to be such a nice
Yeah.
vibe. On the Saturday of EP, it's going to be Midnight Sun. Let's go.
I'm sorry, but Zara Larsson's CMAT Gorillas back to back on Saturday. That's so much fun.
Crazy. That's
Like,
so fun.
That's great.
And then like Fontaine's and Amble to end the weekend on the
That's a lot
Sunday.
of, like,
gorgeous.
Bit cathartic, you know, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Joe. I'm like, obviously he's Steve from Stranger Things. Really like his stuff as well. He came
I
on
haven't
stage.
listened. I don't know. Actually.
Do you know the song when I'm back in Chicago?
I've been
Andy?
there.
That's him.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
he came out on stage with Tame Impala there a few nights or a
Mm.
few weeks ago, and yeah, I think he's going to be someone now that is on the brink of becoming someone massive. Loyal Corner, I love Loyal Corner
bit of
so
Loyal.
much. Skepta, like that's going to be a buzz. Skepta as well.
Honestly, like that's huge. As long as I've lived in Ireland, Skepta hasn't played here. So unless he played, I mean, like, no, not as long as but as long as I've been old enough to go to gigs, like Skepta hasn't played it. It's been ages. Like I think
Yeah.
the last time he played maybe was Forbidden Fruit, like 2018 or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been ages anyway since the man has been seen in Ireland. And
Yeah, even Raven Lene as well. She
Yeah.
is an amazing R&B artist from the US, from New York. I think New York
you interviewed her, didn't you?
or Chicago. Sorry, I interviewed her. Oh my God, what's
When
wrong with my
she's
throat?
back
Sorry.
in Chicago.
But yeah,
she's-
Link. But Raven Lene just released another album, and she's really doing bits. It's interesting because both her and Joe have had like viral
Yeah.
viral success with one song. She had "Cause I didn't when I need you
But
right now."
her other music is actually really good. She has a
Insane.
really good catalog, and I'd encourage people to listen to it because
Yeah.
I knew her before. I didn't even know about that song, and I was like, what? Then I clicked on her profile. I was like, oh my god, this song is massive. And then I was like, oh shit, she made that song.
Yeah.
But her
So
other music
talented.
is great actually.
She's amazing. But like, just think of like the mix of her with the likes of the Saw Doctors after the Mayo win, like the Mayo win, and all the,
Oh,
imagine all the jerseys of the Saw Doctors. Like that's gonna be insane.
Skepta better be wearing a Mayo jersey. He
And
better be.
then who else? We're talking the Mary Wallopers, who have just been like going up and up and up, and they're releasing an album very
Yeah, they're
soon again.
poised, aren't they?
Yeah, so I think that's gonna have a massive turnout as well. And if you're going into that whole trad revival angle, we of course have Madra Salak and the Scratch there as well. So I
Yummy.
think they're going to do really, really well in terms of turnouts.
I
But
think you have to be a bit more militant with Electropenic. You're like,
oh my
I need
God,
to see this person at this
there's
time,
too
and I
much.
need to leave. Like, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what I've learned
And
from
it's
last year. I ended up missing basically everything because I was a bit loosey goosey. I was like, okay, no, this
you had
time.
your Malibu and pineapple.
Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back.
I think we've said
Yeah.
this before on the podcast, but every time I turn around and I see Dray at a festival, what's he holding? A pineapple juice with some Malibu.
It's gorgeous, and it's just
It's
family
so
friendly. It's
yum.
family friendly
It's
fun.
so
for me.
yum. I also think like it's amazing to see that Florence Road, all women Irish band playing, who are doing absolute bits at the moment, but also the likes of Clifford's, who front woman Iona as well. It's
Mhm.
so good to see that some of the Irish bands that we have here have female representation.
And I have no doubt that these acts will be playing Electropenic next year and will be higher up on that lineup. You know what I mean?
100%. Florence Road, like
Honestly,
they're gonna be dominating the whole world
honestly,
very, very soon.
they're gonna be emperors of the world. All hail Florence Road.
Honestly, I'm already kneeling on the ground. What else? Who else are we looking forward to on this lineup? We have Cameron Watson as well, an amazing Irish DJ.
I'm just about to say that Terminus stage is very tapped in. Like, obviously there's a few Irish DJs there which are fantastic, and then you have like your Faster Horses. I really want to see Faster Horses. It's a great like speed garage DJ, which is really nice to see. This Terminus stage I didn't hang out with at that much, and I'm gonna get sillier at it this year, I think. So if you see me at Terminus stage, no, you didn't.
No, you
Yeah,
didn't.
it's be a really good time. I wanted to touch on like Wolf Alice and Wonderhorse because they're two
Let's do it.
rock bands that or like, yeah, I would say like more rock purists. Like Wonderhorse is obviously a little bit more prog rock, a little bit more kind of abstract. But they seem to have captured the heart of a certain demographic. Like Wonderhorse maybe 2 years ago, or was it last year, played Collins Barracks. I haven't seen a band outside of like obviously like Fontaines and things like that who have a more dedicated fan base than Wonderhorse. Like,
Fair.
and Wolf Alice seemed to be kind of keeping the kind of like Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, giving a natural progression to those fans or the younger fans that are dip their toes into like the 80s, like death metal and stuff like that. I'm not saying Wolf Alice makes that type of music, but it seems like there's that kind of niche or that kind of demographic is rising a little bit more. Like
Yeah.
the rock purist fans are kind of coming back a little bit
They
as well.
are.
And I think the rap recession, I'm not saying that rap is dead or dying. I'm just saying that it's maybe recessed a little bit from
Yeah.
being everywhere. And I think that is leaving a bit more space for these other kind of sounds to re-emerge. And I think Wolf Alice and Wonderhorse are two examples of that.
I do think it's to do with two things: COVID, because people want live music again, but also in this era of AI, people want a full live band sound, and I think that's why it's naturally come back.
Wonderhorse is crazy live. The stuff I've seen them get up to, it's like,
It's a
you know,
wall of
it's
sound.
Jimi Hendrix level, like setting the guitar on fire kind of live shows as well,
Sorry, guys.
which is so passionate.
Guys,
yeah,
like
Audrey
we're
Hellbauer as
dropping
well.
everything in this. I dropped my mic there
I know,
on my
yeah.
laptop, trying to do my hair up.
Dropping facts left, right, and center.
Sorry, you're in a flow state, and I'm here dropping my mic.
I think, yeah, no, that's all I have to say really. I think obviously this is the main lineup. don't forget to like go and check out the many acts that are gonna be surrounding these stages. And
Yeah, this is only scratching the surface.
this is literally only scratching.
Yeah.
It's like just a mere visit to Electric Picnic's Instagram. Acts are getting dropped each day, stage lineups. I really want to catch Champagne on that Cree stage. So I want to spend some time there. It's a buffet of artistry.
It
if you ask
is.
me. It really
James
is.
Drummond as well.
Yeah.
For them.
It's a lot.
As long as I got you, baby.
baby.
I think that's going to be one of those.
Armin van Helden on the Smirnoff stage. I'm sorry. You're going to catch me there. You don't understand me.
But like those like throwback ones, it's going to be like a lot of that you didn't even know you needed until you go.
It was like
know?
Sister Sledge Beyond the Pale. I didn't know I needed that for my soul. And now my soul is full.
Cleansed.
It's cleansed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But yeah, it's so true. Like on the main lineup that we're looking at, that is only scratching the surface because there's going to be so many artists. Like say Cree, for example. We were talking about the trad revival acts there, but like on Cree, not even on the main lineup is Donal Lunny, we have Zoe Conway, we have John Francis Flynn, Eleanor McAvoy, Keen Kavanagh, Denise Child Hurton, Melina Malone. Like there's so.
It's time to download the app, I think, to get
Yeah.
my shit together, I think, to
I
be
have to
honest.
say, Cree is probably one of my favorite stages there because of the natural amphitheater, but also the type of guests. We have soul, we have trad, and a bit of electronic in there as well. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, then do check out the Cree stage for sure. But there's also an amazing lineup of comedy that we haven't even went into.
Oh, guys.
It's actually
Mamma
overwhelming.
mia.
It's,
Honestly.
There's Mario Rosenstock, we have Reggie Watts, Deirdre O'Kane, Shane Todd, Vittorio and Mike Rice are going to be there, Rachel Galvo. Like, guys, the list goes on, and I think we could actually be here all day.
Yeah, I know. No, honestly, I'm looking at the Salty Dog. I'm not even going to say the acts. Go get the app. Go see what's going on. There's just so much fun. I mean,
Yeah.
there's everything that you
We've
can
given you our taster of the main lineup there and a few small stages around the place. But if there's anyone else you think people should go see, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
On District Music, DM us, and if you're an artist yourself, give yourself a shout out. Let us know on District Music, and we can tag you in some of the posts we're putting up for the pod, maybe.
Definitely.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break because time is flying in this pod. So right after this, we're going to be wrapping it up with tracks to impress your mates with. So do not go anywhere.
Let's impress them.
Welcome back to the District Music Podcast. We have reached the final part of the podcast here. We were chatting all things, of course, Electric Picnic, because it is happening this weekend in Stradbally in County Laois, and we're ready for another amazing lineup. So we're really excited for that, Dray, aren't we?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
like,
course.
I
Actually, am. I actually really am.
I'm
yeah.
really excited.
I think this is. I've never been this excited for an Electric Picnic. Actually, like I'm
Amazing.
really like. There's just so much on offer.
Also, I don't know, we kind of talked about the stages and stuff at the start and our experiences of wandering through the different areas, but it's probably the biggest festival I've ever been to. And I've been to Coachella. Coachella is way smaller.
It's
than
definitely
Electric Picnic.
expansive. Like definitely the grounds of Electric Picnic is
So
like you can.
vast.
It is vast. You're right.
And
That's the word. Right.
what I also love about Irish festivals like EP, even though it's the biggest one in the country, there's so many little nooks and crannies. Whereas the likes of Coachella, it's in these, you know, the great like American plains. You're in a valley, obviously there's mountains around you, but it's just flat, squared fields.
I love getting lost in the forest.
Love
You
it.
know, that kind of thing.
Love it. We sound like little fairies and
Yeah, I
nymphs right
know.
now. I love
I
getting-
love fairies.
I love yeah.
We in the office. We were having a conversation about furries and
Furries.
Rachel.
Can you explain what furries are?
Well, for those, they know what furries are, Rachel. You're the only one. No, I'm
I'm just
joking.
naive.
Furries are people. I'd all love to them. They dress in like animal mascot costumes. You know those people. You might have seen them online or whatever. And we were just talking about furries, and then Rachel just turns around and goes, "Furries? I love furries." But you were saying fairies.
Yeah,
we were
I
like,
think it's a
but then we were
Monaghan
taken
accent.
aback. We were like,
Yeah, because
Rachel,
Dray and Aaron in the
furry?
office were like, you like furries? Like, you're into that?
You're
And
like,
then
yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I love fairies. But I meant fairy folklore.
yeah.
Which
Sure you did,
I
buddy.
swear. And we did talk about that again. I'm linking back 2 episodes ago. We chatted all about fairy folklore. and music with Piss Rugs podcast. He also goes by Luke Conroy. It was so interesting. I love that chat so much.
We need to bring him back. I think he's gonna have to come back at some point.
I said this on the podcast. I said
yeah.
it. He has to come back.
Yeah.
Okay, Dre, give us your track to impress your mates with.
Okay, I am gonna go for Pictures of You by Drug Dealer featuring Kate Bollinger. It's actually sounds like it's gonna be very abrasive and evil, but it's not. It's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It's just very acoustic, beautiful. La la la.
Where should you be when you're listening to it?
In a fairy fort. A furry fort. Wow. Surrounded by furries. I mean furries. Yeah.
He's on our road today, people.
Yeah, I think Pictures of You, Drug Dealer, Kate Bollinger is a beautiful track.
Love this. I can't wait to hear it.
I didn't wanna say it, thought it would occur to you.
And Rachel, tell me, what's your track to impress some homies?
My track to impress my mates with, or your mates at home with, is a Loyal Corner and Tom Misch one from years ago called Crazy Dream. Crazy Dream.
Banger. They always made great music together.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
They fit like a glove. Loyal Corner is, of course, playing at Electric Picnic this weekend. He might perform this on stage. But when he links up with Tom Misch, something really magical happens, because you have Tom Misch's like 2010s London jazz era sound, that like the hip hop drums with like the pitched up vocals, the guitar sound, it's so groovy. But then you have his like Loyal Corner's gorgeous flow going over it, and the video for this is really cool as well. It's just like a duotone.
I can't remember it.
of himself, of Loyal Corner and Tom Misch dancing. And it does feel like a crazy dream.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you enjoy this, go check it out at EP this weekend. This is Loyal Corner, Tom Misch with Crazy Dream.
And as I wake up from this crazy dream.
Okay, that is it from myself, Rachel Mayhannon, and
Dray Morgan
on the District Music Podcast. That is a little setup for EP this weekend. Hopefully we've given you some little tips and tricks of places to go, people to see, and just how to enjoy the weekend. Because don't get caught up with all the headline or stuff, because there are really some cool stages and artists to explore throughout the whole area. Anything else to add, Dre?
No, that's it. I think it just reminded me of Fred again when you said that, because he was just like, I just remember at Electric, he's like, you've lost all your mates. You look to your left, look to your right. We're in this together. And he's like, and the drum pad. So do a Fred again on it and lose everyone.
Take
and
Fred
go.
again's advice.
Stay safe, but stay silly.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll see myself with Dre with his bottle of Malibu. And pineapple.
Say the magic words. Just say Malibu up to me, and I will give you some Malibu pineapple.
Guys, this is actually not a promo. We just love Malibu.
Not a promo. Yeah, literally.
It's Tesco pineapple, Malibu.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it has to be
gorgeous.
Tesco pineapple.
It has to be.
Has to be.
Okay, enjoy your EP weekend, and if you're not going, hope you enjoy the coverage from it, and we will chat to you next week all about how we discover music.
Lovely. See you later, guys.
See you then.
Bye.
You're listening to District Music.